Hey, how you doing? Longer video this time, but I wanted to do a longer video on this. The Devil's Edge, Qama by Cult of Athena. So the first thing I want to say is that the term Qama seems to be a little bit inaccurate. The actual name for this type of weapon is Qaddare. And we know the difference between the two because, let me pull this out. You see how it's single-edged and curved? Yeah, that's the biggest distinction between a Qama and a Qaddare. So, this is in fact a Qaddare. Anyways, a little bit about its history. So, this weapon was actually introduced into Persia through the Caucasian peoples. So, people from Dagestan, Chechnya, Ingushetia, that area. Because this was originally the Kinjal, or the Khanjali, or the Qama. All of these basically mean knives in those languages. So these were brought over to Persia due to uh, what's the word? Cross-cultural trading. Okay, and they developed a little bit of a life of its own. This, as you can see, is a bit broader than Khanjali or Kinjal that you would normally see. Also, this doesn't have the distinctive rivets at the end. This is flush to the grip. Yep. So, a little bit different than the Kinjal. However, the way that you're meant to use it is the same, as you'll see. When using the Qaddare, the first thing to do is to wrap your arm up in some sort of cloth. This could be the turban cloth that you're wearing on your head. And the reason for this is so that you can defend your arm a little bit against any slashes aiming towards it. The next is to look at the stance. With the Qaddare, you have to have a bit more of a Western or universal guard. The reason for this is because you do not have a shield to protect you. You need to sit, or not sit, stand, perpendicular to your enemy. Now you can see some of the basic cuts and thrusts with the Qaddare. They're very simple, aiming towards the enemy's hand, wrist, and upper arm rather than their head. Your offhand is going to be used for parrying as well as for controlling the enemy's blade if it comes a little close to you. You can also use it for grappling as well. Now when you look at the footwork, you have both online as well as offline steps. However, this is more closely related to the Western systems of fencing, due to it being in a more Western guard. Here are some flows. You can also see how I parry with this. I use the edge of the blade to parry the incoming enemy attacks. Here are a few flows of Qaddare. Now as you can see, I'm using a little bit of Shamshir techniques as well. This is normal with the Qaddare. Right, now that you saw how they're supposed to be used, let's talk about this particular one in detail. So, as I said before, this is the Devil's Edge Qaddare, or Qama, from Cult of Athena. And it retails for about $50 or so for the munitions one, I believe. And plus about $30 of shipping, at least for me. Could be different for you. But let's talk about the good. Okay, the good is definitely the price. For $50 plus however much shipping, between $60 to $90. That's not bad for something like this. I mean, broad blade can definitely handle a lot. We're not at the bad yet, so I'm not going to talk about the handle. But it's a decent blade for a decent price. So That's the biggest plus with it. Also, it's sharp. Uh, it's not too sharp, but it's sharp. It's definitely has an edge to it. And the third thing is that the scabbard. Oh, well, the fact that it comes with a scabbard, but not only that, scabbards in scout style, right? Now let's get into the bad. Since I have the scabbard in my hand, it moves quite a bit. Not very stable. So there's a little bit of a plus. Also, a huge issue. I have it in my hand. Yeah, very loose. So that's another little issue with this. Another one of my biggest concerns actually with this particular product. Notice the distal taper? See how there really isn't any? Yeah, that's an issue. This is a very, very, very forward heavy blade. And for a quick knife, that is a big issue. Because in the way that you're meant to use this, it's meant to be very quick. It's not so much a draw cutting weapon. This is not a shamshir. Remember that. This is a knife. Okay? This hurts a lot in the hand. The grip is also incredibly small, which isn't too much of an issue if it's a shamshir or if it's a kilich or a talwar. But this is not any of those. Okay? This is a knife. So when you do these quick, just by doing that, these quick little motions, my wrist does not like it. So it's definitely taxing on the wrist. So in my earlier review, I gave this like a must buy. I still recommend it. It's a really good knife for the price. But there are some definite issues with it that you can sort of forgive with the price. But I just want to let you know that this is not a must buy. This is a good knife, but it's not a must buy. So overall rating, I would say 6.5 out of 10. So it's above 5, which means I do recommend it. But it's not the greatest thing in the world. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about these reviews, if I should do any more. But yeah, that's my final review. Devil's Edge Qaddare / Qama, 6.5 out of 10. Thank you. You have a great rest of your day.